of jail, he would have to go to Lesotho. On the day of the trial, he was acquitted and released. Then he tendered his resignation at mechanized method and started preparation to go to Lesotho. Mother and Father Masango started their prayer mission in the year 1968 at Likokwaneng in Lesotho, sent by Mother and Father Masango. Following their arrival in Lesotho, they constructed a small mud house that they use as their home. Church and that they use, Following their arrival in Lesotho, they constructed a small mud house that they used as their home church and a place where they attended to the sick. The house was divided by a curtain sewn from sackcloth. When there were many people, the church service would be held outside. On the rainy days, those who attended church services and take refuge in the house. Mother and Father Matsoso prayed for many people of different ailments, including those with mental illness. Many received life, marriages and children, dignified families and work. They help people without pay. Many have regained life and well-being under their care. They were presented with various problems in their faith mission. Sometimes they would be indicted before chief, with the accusers seeking that they should be banished from Lesotho. Mayana would pay them regular visit to strengthen them in faith. Are you tired now of him? In 1971, when Tate Matsoso was his mud house at Likokwaneng with Mayor Matsoso and Reverend Manene and Mr. Tumo, he was suddenly struck by lightning from nowhere. He fell to the ground unconscious. It was on a clear day and with no clouds. He could not speak, move, see, or visualize anything. Mayor Matsoso sent an urgent message to Tate Masango, who reassured her that he would pray that Tate Matsoso would come back to life as Tate Matsoso's spirit was taken up to heaven. Then Tate Masango instructed that when Tate Matsoso showed signs of life, he must quickly be transported to him in Jamestown. Meanwhile, the villagers, pastoring Mayor Matsoso to bury him, for they could not understand why she was keeping a corpse. She answered them by telling them that Tate Masango had promised that Tate Matsoso would return. When Tate Matsoso arrived in Jerusalem, Tate Masango and Mayor Anna attended to him and prayed for him until he became well. Following that, Tate Masango asked him to tell about his heavenly journey, mentioning the places and things he saw in heaven. Tate Masango explained that Tate Matsoso is not like ordinary people, and that he brought him back from paradise. Tate Masango mentioned that God made him a promise that Tate Matsoso would succeed him in leading the church of the prophets and continue building temples. 1971, Tate Masango was ordained Archbishop. Then he ordained the bishop. In 1976, Tate Matsoso was ordained a bishop. He was ordained with two others. During his ordination, Tate Masango elaborated that Tate Matsoso was not like others as his bishop. Upon their arrival, Mayor Christina asked, Their Eminence Father Paul Tabang and Mother Lady Archbishop Malimakato Petrus Matsoso
were joined in holy matrimony on the 26th of June, 1957. 4 of their offspring were deceased at an infancy stage. Aided by the prayer of the prophets of the Lord, Ndade Masango and Me Anna, they gave birth to 2 sons, Samson Sitai and Petrus Mohao, and 2 daughters, Elizabeth Dimakatso and Emma Sloane Matsoso. They were blessed with 13 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. He is survived by a son, 2 daughters, 11 grandchildren, and 3 great-great-grandchildren. Biblical studies. He obtained his minister's Bible certificate from All Africa School of Theology, Witbank, South Africa, through correspondence. In 1998, he was honored a doctor in theological ministry, in brackets, Doctor of Theory, by Christ the Lamb School of Theology. Work life. He worked for a Hollander printing firm called Mechanized Methods. It was located at number 67, Judah Street, Bloemfontein in Johannesburg. The firm printed addresses by using embossing machines called multigraph addressograph. They knew him as a man of peace, and he would sing as he performed his work duties. At lunchtime, he would find a quiet place to pray. One day when he would not sing at work, production stops, with the result that they would ask him to sing. It is about this singing that Mary Christina said, "This child, Paul, has a gift to hit people with a song. His singing is not arrogant, but he prays for everyone with a song." He was an expert using the machines and mechanized method, and he also taught others. He used to surprise his white bosses. This was the time of apartheid in South Africa. He met Verwoerd at the Rand Easter show. Verwoerd greeted and shook hands with him. Verwoerd made a remark that it was his first time to see such a brilliant and dignified young black man. Verwoerd even enjoyed a cup of a nice smelling mocha java coffee made by him. The day he handed in his resignation letter, the bosses and staff at the mechanized method were crying and pleading with him to stay on board. However, he needed the words of the prophets in Ndade Masango when he said his time to go and pray in Lesotho had come. With a sudden heart, he turned away from the work he loved and performed well, and was bound to attend to people's sickness and their all manner of problems. This meant the following to him. A, the family would forgo their monthly income. B, the family had to be relocated from an urban area to a remote mountains of Lesotho with very bleak hope for the future in terms of their daily needs. C, the family was to and did forgo. The family was to and did forgo their earned income to totally depend on well-wishers who might donate them their daily food, clothing, as well as their daily needs, Such donations came in the form of, that's the donation. Such donations came in the form of food, clothing, school fees for some of other kids, traveling expenses, since Father Masango's church involves a lot of traveling. Church life. Ndade Paul Matsoso was baptized at the Anglican Church, where he started his church life as a zealous member. He left the Anglican Church due to his spiritual calling to St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission through vision and illness. In 1942, at the age of 12, he had a vision in which he saw a big hand in space covering the whole world. When a voice said to him, "Do you see that hand? It is a hand of a Zulu-speaking prophet of God. In the future, your life will be under that prophet." After he joined the St. John's Church under the prophetess and founder Mary Christina Ngu in Everton, she explained that she would pray for him, that his life be stable, but she would later send him to Ndate Masango. She reiterated that he was Ndate Masango's son. At that time, Ndate Matsoso would attend church services at Mapizo at White City, while in Soweto. Mapizo's at White City, while in Soweto. He conducted the church choir in that circuit and helped with office work. One day during the ceremony of washing feet, which is normally combined with blessing of the church choir, he was seized by the Holy Spirit as he conducted his choir. Everybody in the church at Everton became seized by charisma that day. The song he was conducting is number 334, Zion Hymns, Kifumane Ofika. Mary Christina then explained it, that it signified that Ndate Matsoso, Aputi Paulus, in brackets, had captured and taken the prophecy to his home country of Lesotho. The following week, Ndate Masango asked about Ndate Matsoso at the church in Jamestown and said, "Did you see that child Matsoso when conducting his choir? This prophecy lives in him. Verily I tell you that he is full of happiness in his heart." Ndate Masango started explaining that he cried to the Lord when his son Ndate Asa in Lesotho was taken to heaven. He explained that with Ndate Matsoso, God had given him consolation and promise. At this time, Ndate Matsoso was working for mechanized method. However, he was staying in Mofolo village. Many people were already coming to him, bringing him their various life problems. Ndate Matsoso would help them. This was when Ndate Masango explained that he was everything that Ndate Matsoso was doing by helping people in Soweto. Nonetheless, Ndate Masango explained that through prayer, he would stop what was happening so that it could happen when Ndate Matsoso had come to Lesotho. Then after some time, Ndate Masango told Ndate Matsoso that the time had come for him to go to Lesotho and start his prayer mission and help people regarding their various problems. Due to his passion for his work and the reluctance of starting a totally different life in Lesotho, Ndate Matsoso did not immediately come to Lesotho. He was twice attacked and injured by criminals in Soweto.
Subsequently, he was put in jail in a crime he didn't commit. It was when he was in jail that Tate Masango asked the congregation in Jamestown to pray for him and explained that when he got out of jail, he would have to go to Lesotho. On the day of the trial, he was acquitted and released. Then he tendered his resignation at mechanized method and started preparation to go to Lesotho. Mother and Father Masango started their prayer mission in the year 1968 at Likokwaneng in Lesotho, sent by Mother and Father Masango. Following their arrival in Lesotho, they constructed a small mud house that they use as their home. Following their arrival in Lesotho, they constructed a small mud house that they used as their home church and a place where they attended to the sick. The house was divided by a curtain sewn from sackcloth. When there were many people, the church service would be held outside. On the rainy days, those who attended church services and take refuge in the house. Mother and Father Matsoso prayed for many people of different ailments, including those with mental illness. Many received life, marriages and children, dignified families and work. They help people without pay. Many have regained life and well-being under their care. They were presented with various problems in their faith mission. Sometimes they would be indicted before chief, with their accusers seeking that they should be banished from Lesotho. Mayana would pay them regular visit to strengthen them in faith. Are you tired now of him? In 1971, when Tate Matsoso was his mad house at Likokwaneng with Mayor Matsoso and Reverend Manene and Mr. Tumo, he was suddenly struck by lightning from nowhere. He fell to the ground unconscious. It was on a clear day and with no clouds. He could not speak, move, see, or visualize anything. Mayor Matsoso sent an urgent message to Tate Masango, who reassured her that he would pray that Tate Matsoso would come back to life as Tate Matsoso's spirit was taken up to heaven. Then Tate Masango instructed that when Tate Matsoso showed signs of life, he must quickly be transported to him in Jamestown. Meanwhile, the villagers, pastoring Mayor Matsoso, to bury him, for they could not understand why she was keeping a corpse. She answered them by telling them that Tate Masango had promised that Tate Matsoso would return. When Tate Matsoso arrived in Jamestown, Tate Masango and Mayor Anna attended to him and prayed for him until he became well. Following that, Tate Masango asked him to tell about his heavenly journey, mentioning the places and things he saw in heaven. Tate Masango explained that Tate Matsoso is not like ordinary people, and that he brought him back from paradise. Tate Masango mentioned that God made him a promise that Tate Matsoso would succeed him in leading the church of the prophets and continue building temples. 1971, Tate Masango was ordained Archbishop. Then he ordained the bishop. In 1976, Tate Matsoso was ordained a bishop. He was ordained with two others. During his ordination, Tate Masango elaborated that Tate Matsoso was not like others, as his bishop robe had a double During his ordination, Tate Masango elaborated that Tate Matsoso was not like others, as his bishop robe had a double significance, as he was both a bishop and a prophet. He therefore asked the congregation to sing hymn number 331, Zion Hymnals, in bracket, Ilisahanana Fela La Morena. Instead of normally sung number 295, was it Zion, Tate Matsoso and Me Matsoso humbly endured until Tate Masango and Me Anna built a chapel at Likokwaning, and thereafter held on to their faith until their departure from this world. Following Tate Masango and Me Anna's departure from this world, Tate Matsoso and Me Matsoso continued the church mission amidst troubles and tribulations. Nevertheless, their faith never faltered. In 1997, it's important, in 1997, Matsoso was ordained as Archbishop of Father Masango's St. John's Faith Mission Church. In turn, he ordained 30 bishops and more than 30,000 priests. At the time when they are taken up to heaven,
akazochaza elule wemdabu wenkonzo ye-Apostolic Faith Mission.
Ntatela Miponi, Ntatemule Christina, Bachokopanilako, Apostolic Faith Mission Church.
Uthi bahlangana ubaba uRamipoli nobaba uMloyi nobeChristina enkonzweni eyayibizwa kuthiwa i-Apostolic Faith Mission.
Ndibona Ntate Muhalani, Ntate Nkisini ka ofela bakopanela teng.
Bekhona nobaba eMhalane nobaba eMkisini bahlanganela lapho.
So yale ha maapostolana ba sa fuwe tšhono ke puso ya mafatshe a rona Afrika hore batho ba bantshwa ba tsebang ka Modimo. Ke ha e le hore Ntate Nkisini le yena wa pele wa Apostolic Faith Mission a ba buisana le bo right le bo Leroux Bishop Apostolic Faith Mission a re lokolle batho bana ba na le kabelano tsa moya.
Ngenxa yokuba ngaleso sikhathi izwe lakithi langabakhulule lingaqondisisi ukuthi abantu abamnyama bangaba nendlela ethile yenkonzo kwaze kuyakhulunywa-ke lapho labo bababhishophu ababili akhuluma ngabo baba bavumelana ukuthi abaqame le nkonzo ye-Apostolic Faith.
Jalo ga ke mo history yeno se teng fela ne ke tlo leboga fela ho tlo peletsa le sona ke tlo mo praise ke tlo mo peleli.
Ngesho akubaba kanogxila kuleyo ndaba ngoba kezange uzongcwaba uzophelezela isotsha.
Ke tlo celebrate bophelo ba hae ba bopelo.
Uzocelebrate impilo yesotsha kezange uzoliphelezela.
Ebile ka Ntate Matsoso nka lelela history ya hae ko re ko tshwantse ngwana le go ke kimekana.
Uthi futhi noma ngathi njena
ngalingela silemo kaofela
engathi ulanda ngomlando kaBaba Matsoso ngabe ibhuka zelingake lingaqeda unyaka wonke.
Ka o le motho o modumisa la bua ka yena go tswa sebopelong sa motswadi wa hae.
Ngoba kungazuthi umuntu uNkulunkulu alokaqala ukukhuluma ngaye esesekumama.
Taemane ena bohlokwa na kopana le baprofeta le go ipolitsha fela.
Kwase kuyakhuleka
marketing
uyapolishwa mele beseqhubeke ukukhule ehlangane nabaprofeti.
Ena le motho ana tshaba Modimo haholo.
Umuntu oyathi saba uNkulunkulu isimangaliso.
Ena motho a thapela.
Umuntu omthandazo.
Hona ha kula fitla dia hele o ya batoni kwa.
Futhi athi ehlabekile efike emtheni
Alishakele ngoma umtiki mekrisina lela ona sasa le tsoke matsatsi a mararo abangela le godimo.
Eleshwe nguye lo mama mtiki lona uMkristu wabatshela bese kusebenza kwaneyintathu
Akupela disuka diphala.
ecelelwa izinsuku ngamaxilongo.
Ithe ha te ka ukupela disuka diphala.
Kwathi-ke ngemva kwalokho
Me Christina ba sanza ke diphala na letse phala.
umama Christina wasemlayela ukuthi akamile emaxilongweni akakhalise.
Yanong Ntate Matsoso ba kena diphaleng.
Kanjalo wayesengena uBaba Matsoso.
Ke leboha ha bana ba se ba diphala tsa ilaletsa ho tsona ba le teng le bona ba tlile ka jeno.
Baba yabonga uma abantu
Ba khotso le lerato.
abe sazweni ngento ezimbili ukuthula lothando.
I'm sure to say that I'm just saying my dirty lineage, but I'm sure to say that I'm not like Positaka, who don't feel that a guy man that is here, I don't like, which makes an narrator. Also, I said, Johnny Mwita is on car. Said John Bobojan and say about the suit.
Isithole bobojana wasayifile isu. Uyasaba ukukhuluma ngalolu hlobo ngoba kuzobenza ngathi usethayisa ukungcola phambi kwebandla ikakhulukazi phambi kwakho.
Masenjolo ka ho batla ditulo le maemo.
Masonjwana ngokufuna le into ezimbili izitulo nezikhundla.
Ntse tšhelete ya batho ba Modimo ba tla ba tlo ikopela ka yona pela Modimo wa we dikereke rona ra ikadisana dikhoto ka ditšhelete tse.
Nizithatha phi imali zokuya emakhotho ngoba nithatha lezi mali zabantu abeza bezocela usizo ebandleni nimikisa emakhotho ngazo.
Case e nngwe le nngwe kena ho yona di-senior councillors wa teng ba tla bo 20-something thousand rands ka letsatsi.
Ama-senior councillor kuleyo naleyo court case abange aphuma sebefuna ngo-20-something thousand yamarandi.
And ha di fele di a postponwa di-case tsa rona.
Benza ngamabomu futhi bathi ayikapheli icase kuyanifuna.
Jwanong a re ke re kopaneng re rataneng.
Batho baba lokho siyokunqoma ngokuhlangana nokuthandana.
Ne ke tshwere le temana ya hore haholoholo hara di-executive committee tsa rona.
Ikakhulukozi
Bishopo le di-archbishopo gore di dule mo re silweng teng.
uthi baba nayo incwadi yokukhuthaza esajoyina yonke kwizihlalo zonke.
Ke lengolo la dikwetso 20 from 25.
Izenzo 20 iqala ku-25.
E re mme jwale bonang ke a tseba hobane ha e le lona kaofela bao ke tsamaileng
Bonani-ke ngiyazi xa uyinina nonke mina sengihambile.
ke bolela efafekeng hara lona
Ebakade ngikhuluma leli
ga
vangeli
go
phakathi.
le a mong ya tla boela a bona sefahleho sa
Akasekho noyedwa oyophinda kubone ubuso bakho.
ka baka leo
Ngaleyo nxa
ke le pakela ka jeno hobane ha ke na molato mading a lona bohle
ngiyalifakazela ukuthi mina nginacala nagazi, ngiyacala legazi egazini lenu nonke.
hobane ha ke aka ka tswafa go le bolella morero ohle wa modimo
Ngoba ngincenanga ukunitshela yonke indlela kaNkulunkulu.
jwale lona hlong le dise le mehlape ka ofela o moya o halalelang o le beileng balebedi ba ona
Ubekani-ke neluse yonke imihlambi leyo umoya oyingcwele unibeke naba ngabakhokheli bayo.
ho alosa kereke ya modimo yeo o ithwetseng yona ka madi ao e leng a ona ka sebele
Ukuqaphela inkonzo kaNkulunkulu azakhele yona ngegazi lakhe elingcwele uqobo.
hobane ke a tseba se ke tlohile go tlo kena go lona diphiri tse bohale tse sa tlong go kenegela mohlape
Ngiyazi sengisusiwe kini kuyawungena amanke.
From Namibia to South Africa, Adil Rachel Lesu.
Iboda tseno tse tharo he, Namibia, South Africa, Lesotho.
What was the reason?
Na libaka nilini?
It's because of the love we had with my fellow bishop, fellow friend, the late Paul Matsoso.
Uri ke ka baka la setswalle sa hae le motswalle wa hae, ngwana bo le mosebetsi mmoho ntate Paul Bishop Matsoso.
I and Ntate Matsoso, we met in 1956
Yena le ntate Matsoso e sale ba kopana morao fana ka bo 1956
in Everton.
lefatsheng la Everton.
So we are originating from Everton. We are from Everton, both of us.
Ke ka pele ba bona ke ba tsanele ba.
So we are the spiritual children of Memangu.
Ke bana ba moya ba Memangu.
Then we departed together from Everton to Jimiston Kandahom.
Ya ba ba sama mo ba Dennis le ka tlong mane.
So I'm well acquainted in the history of the church from Everton to Jimiston.
Uri uri tseba hantle ditaba tsa Dennis le sa Everton.
So most of the Jimiston, all people who are here present, they might be knowing me very well.
Uri ba bang ba Dennis ba khale o ka isa ro tseba hantle ntate.
So it's not the first time that some of you are seeing me here.
Uri ntate ha sina mathomo bo ngata ba nang le mona di mona ntate.
Father Matsoso was a man of love and a spiritual man.
Ntate Matsoso le ntate ka ba monna ya lerato le wa mo ya moya.
So if you are reflecting the truth, then some people might be saying that no, this man is talking other things.
Uri le nnete ka di makatsa ke se ka dumela ha o ka bua ka ena ka mokgwa o botse.
It is true, Father Matsoso was a member of the St. John's Presbytery.
Ke nnete ntate Matsoso ne le o mong leloko la St. John's Presbytery.
Omwache wa tate masango mwenyaru kuungira era kalime na tate masango balirira okombanda yetu yajibimirira kalime.
It is true, Father Matsoso was a son of Father Masango due to the fact that he were fluent in Zulu. So that's why he were senior son than us.
Hore ke nnete hore ntate Matsoso ke mora wa ntate Masango. A le motle Sezulung ebile a le ka hodimo ho rona ka baka leng.
So I know he was a Sutu, but he was fluent in Zulu.
Ke makatsa hore ke tseba hore ke Mosotho empa Sezulu sa hae se le siko.
So he was really a copy of Father Masango, truly.
Ka nnete o ne a na le sebopeho sa ntate Masango se siko.
So I think all we are originating from Jamestown, we might be having the same knowledge as I'm reflecting this.
Hore ntate tse a di buang he o bona le ka re kaofela ba tswang Jamestown re a di tseba.
So he was a third person to be ordinated a bishop after me.
Hore ntate ne le wa boraro hore a bewe ke bishop ho hlahlamana le
After me, it was Daniel Sabopa, and then after Daniel Sabopa, it was him.
Hore ntate ka mora hae ntate Chibongo ebile ntate Sobopa ka mora hae ya ntate Matsoso.
After him, then Tate Marago was ordained bishop.
Halatela hae qetellong ya ntate Marago hae ya bileng bishop. Sukela
hobane re nka nako e telele.
ngoba hae sikhathi eside.
Ka 1997
Ngalo nyaka loyo ka 1997
ke ile ka atamelwa ile ha ho na le ntwa e tshabehang
kwakukhona isithuba sempi esabekayo basebeya kubaba
ka re ho direka ya sebyo
phakathi kwebandla leSt John.
ile ha ba ba mane ba batla go tshela ba tswa ka Afrika ba batla ka kwano
Abanye babefuna ukweqa nemingcele bekhangisa
ba batla go
ubazisa
khapela kerekeng
bethi sabelithumba lelibandla.
jwale ile Tate Matsoso monna yeso ya sota
Wasuka Matsoso usondela kuthi mfowethu
kenya le letla
iyahloma ake ufake ihlombe.
mme ke ha jwale ka ha motho o se setsibi ditabeng tsa tulo tsa kereke theology
Njengomuntu kangako ezindabeni zobusonto nobunkosi
empa wena o le ditabeng tsa molao
kepha wena ungasohlangothini lomthetho.
ke la ka mothetsa
Ubaba wasemsekela
ka go yena ka go o konke beke o tlo go khutlela ho
ake uthathe ibheyile ubuye ubuyele kimi
gobane ke a tseba gore na